Hello, hello, and welcome, my Scorpio collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Welcome to your Path of True Love read for August 2020, or timeless, whenever you're supposed to watch this. I am your reader, Angelo Lyons, Mal for short, professional witch, professional intuitive, president of Drawing the Circle Productions, brother of a Scorpio Sun sign, the Angel of Lyons, the Archangel of Lyons. Bet your dad just calls me Mal. Hey, my subscribers, my followers, my friends, how you all doing? My Scorps, I love you guys so much. Really, being raised with an older brother who's a Scorpio really taught me how to be devious and mischievous by example. So that's why now I'm as I am a reader, because you know you're all are sneaky, so I turned to divination early in life to figure out what the hell is going on. Thank you so much for following along, my subscribers. You've really helped me on this YouTube journey. Everybody's on a journey right now, the hero's journey of my YouTube career. Very, very fun and creative and growing and exciting, and it wouldn't be possible without you. So thank you so much for all the likes, subscribes, comments, and all that jazz. If you are new to my channel, please do consider doing the same, helping my channel grow, helping me get my work out there to the world. I've been reading tarot since I'm 12 years old. I will be 52 on September 6th. Yeah, I know I don't look my age. Witchcraft. And don't have kids. And hydrate. Neutrogena. So help me get my work out there by liking, subscribing, hitting that notification bell. By all means, feel free to comment if any of this resonates with you, as we will now get down to business. This is a general Path of True Love reading for the Scorpio collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Please take what resonates, leave what does not. You're a water sign, so you know what resonates in your body is truth and what doesn't. And just because you don't like it doesn't mean it ain't the truth, right? So, but Scorpios, I think, know that more than any of the other signs. Life is hard. And sometimes harder if you've got it good. That being said, we're doing a GPS read, which is essentially a Celtic cross, augmented spread, a couple of extra cards there, looking down like on GPS at where you are on the path of true love. The path of true love is your spiritual journey, your healing journey, your creative path, your spiritual path, however you want to see that, but it's all about your relationships of all shapes, sizes, and designs, right? So it's not just about romantic sexual, although that may show up in the readings. Haven't seen a whole lot of that this time around, because so many people are still needing to isolate and go within and do the healing, because the world just isn't as safe as it was a whole bunch of months ago. So a lot of introspection and a lot of self-healing going on, even if you're sequestered with other people. It seems the impetus has been really on go within, go within, go within, so that when you emerge, rising from the ashes, if you like, rising from the underworld, my Scorpios, that you do so clearer, cleaner, and more in alignment with the truth of who you are. That being said, all I need you to do is focus on your breath as we go through this. I will do the same. That will keep you in the present moment so that you can really feel out what resonates and what doesn't. And I will do the same to bring you through the clarity, guidance, and grace as best I can. We're going to start with a Healing with the Angels Oracle card by Doreen Virtue to identify the healing angel walking with you, right? My guides change it up every time to keep me interested, so I hope it's keeping you interested as well. We'll also get you a healing mantra card from the Healing Mantra deck by KAHN before we get those other 10 cards on the table for the Celtic cross. And then we'll get you a whisper of love at the end, tying it all up, hopefully, in a lovely little Path of True Love bow. Shall we? Please breathe. As we're going to start with the angels. All the decks that I read are in the description box all the way at the bottom. There are some other cool links in there. It's so funny, the angels always remind me. It's like, make sure you give credit. Yeah, I didn't make these decks. I bought them. So give credit where credit is due. Go check them out. As well as there's some links in there about the Path of True Love in my description box. Some in there about soulmates and twin flames and all that stuff, just for your education. Yeah, let's do this. The guides are ready. Please, my angels and archangels, one card in clarity for the Scorpio collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. What is the angel that walks with them August 2020 on the Path of True Love or Timeless whenever they're watching it? The healing with the angels, right? So what is the angel they are healing with on this path. Interesting. First time this card's come up in a while. The card of children. Now, if you have children, that may be a bit on the nose, right? They might be like, yeah, well, I love my kids, sort of, right? I have cats. I don't have kids, although I do consider them my sons. By the way, don't ever ask me how my familiars are doing. My cats are not familiars. They're family. Big difference. Just saying. But this could also do with your own innocence. This could also do with your own inner child. This could be about your willingness to see the path of true love or love in general with more innocence, with clear eyes, with new beginnings. You know, we start off in this life not knowing much, and then we get written upon, right? And healing is sometimes not just about erasing what was written there, but transforming and learning from it, taking what works, leaving what doesn't, right? But that doesn't mean that that child in your heart doesn't remember every pain, right? So sometimes it's the mothering of and the fathering of our own hearts that is essential on the path of true love. And like I said, there's a lot of that going on the planet right now. I mean, even in terms of Jungian psychology, the child archetype, which everybody has, because everybody has been a child. No one's born 40 years old, right? Except for Capricorns, I think. They're sort of born 40 years old. Everybody is feeling unsafe right now, and the Jungian archetype of the child is about innocence and safety. So if a child doesn't feel safe, it cowers, it hides, it doesn't have the bravery and the courage to meet life. This could also be you dealing with that child within other people, even if they're not literal children. I see a lot of people acting very childish, different than childlike. Like the Dalai Lama is childlike. Pee Wee Herman, at least the character, childish, right? Where are you on that spectrum, and are you dealing with someone with a dominant brat archetype, just wanting to do what they want to do no matter what? Or is that you, willing to put their own safety and the safety of others on the scale? Ooh, snap, the angels are talking up a storm. Let's move on then to the Ascended Masters, who will get you a healing mantra card from the Healing Mantra deck by Matt Kahn, the perfect healing mantra for you Scorpios. Breathe. My Ascended Masters of true love, please, oh please, oh please. One card. In clarity, the perfect healing mantra for the Scorpio collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs on the path of true love for August 2020. Or timeless, please. What have you got for them? The mantra, the mind tool, which is what mantra means, mind tool, that they can use, that they can focus on in order to facilitate deeper healing within themselves and in this world. Path of True Love, August 2020, or timeless. Oh, lovely. Integrating the ego. I like this card because it's a simple one. Everything is for me, not against me. Now, I know it doesn't seem that way, what we're going through on planet Earth. That's not happening for me. That's happening against me. I can't do everything I want to do. Childish, right? Oh, this is an opportunity for me to heal and learn and go within and find out what's truly important and of value to me. Oh, everything is happening to me, not for me, integrating the ego. So let's read you from the book here. Integrating the ego. Everything is for me, not against me. When your ego is integrated, there are no problems to fix or questions to answer. Wouldn't that be nice? Understand, the ego has to sort of unravel and dissolve in order to be integrated by the soul. So, tricky gnosis, GNOS, I guess. There are just the aligned responses of the soul's reality, acknowledging life as fertile ground where greater expansion is revealed. And that really is the innocence of the child going, oh, all of this is just happening so I can grow and become the best that I can be. The adult in us, not so much, right? It just sees it as another hard day in Earth School. As you integrate your ego, every moment can be seen to be conspiring for your highest evolution instead of plotting against you. Oh, people plotting against you, Scorpio? Paranoid much? Well, you are Scorpios. This mantra is ideal for overcoming victimhood, like no one's ever needed to do that. Being more grateful, it's a lovely thing. And becoming more forgiving, particularly of yourself, because everything is for me, or in this case you, not against you. Okay, I could see some incidents of childhood abuse issues here, or childhood neglect, or childhood codependence, or childhood loss that might be wrapped up in this. So let's get into the Celtic cross itself with those two energies, the angels and the masters, really giving us a template, a lens to look at this through. Let's ask the gods and the goddesses where you are, your current trajectory, a GPS reading from above, their point of view of the path of true love for 2020. Here we go. My gods and goddesses sacred, please, I need 10 cards, Celtic cross spread. I'll call them out one at a time for this Scorpio collective, sun, moon, rising, Venus signs on the path of true love for August 2020, or timeless. Please, what is the card that covers this Scorpio on the path of true love? What is the card that crosses them on the path of true love? What is the card at the core of all of this on the path of true love? What is behind them on the path of true love? What crowns them on the path of true love? What is before them? What is before them on the path of true love? Thank you. What is their lesson on the path of true love? What is, whoa, hey, card shooting across the table. What, how does the world view them on their path, or their path itself of true love from the outside looking in? What is their destiny, their fate being alchemized into destiny, their opportunity on the hero's journey of the path of true love, their hopes and fears? And what is their most probable outcome considering the current trajectory of this timeline, of this lifetime, August 2020, or timeless whenever they are watching it? Well, my darlings, you're ready to rock and roll. We got all 10 on the table. Let's see. What is the card that covers you? The card that represents you is Shakti, the life dancer, the card of the world or the universe in this tarot deck. Really in between the old day and the new, that brief moment between cycles, or at least at the end of one, that would move into the card of the Fool, the dreamer in this deck, and then into the Magician, the witch in this deck, and around you go again. So you are in a place of completion of a cycle in some way, shape, or form. What crosses you as a result are the Five of Flames. Now, not necessarily conflict, but pent up energy, fire energy, that perhaps you did not get everything that you want, or you're really kind of chomping at the bit to get into this new cycle. Perhaps you wrapped up some old business, and now Pele, the volcano, is ready to explode. Remember, it just looks like a mountain until it explodes, right? Your Scorpio, hidden passion, hidden fire. You know, originally, before they discovered the planet Pluto, don't you dare demote one of my gods. Hades don't like that. Trust me, he don't like that. He's the oldest of the Olympians, and he stuck him in the underworld. He's okay with it now, so he says. But still, it's a lot of pent-up energy there. It was ruled by Mars originally before it was ruled by Pluto. So you got to get that fire element there that's buried deep inside of you. This could be a Kundalini awakening. This could be sexual energy. This could be creative energy. It could be anger. Because what is anger but passion blocked, right? And fives they're not so much transformative as they are changing. Like a volcano doesn't transform. It's been a volcano all along. It's just you didn't know it was a volcano until it explodes. So that's not a transformation. That's a change. Like weather doesn't transform. Weather changes, right? So we're looking at something, a real challenge. Now, this could be chomping at the bit, really wanting something, but the expression of it, there's a lot of either little changes or a great big one that's got to happen, but I wouldn't call this a transformation unless we get the Death card on the table, which we all know is the Scorpio card, whatever. What's going on at the core here? Well, 10 of Cups. So I'm going to lean into this being a little bit more sexual romantic, because this has got such a feeling of pent-up fire, right? Just like building and building and building and building until it finally explodes. And girl, I got a lot, I get delirious. And then you got this underneath that, the 10 of Cups, ecstasy, bliss, your cups overflowing, right? This is divine love, true love, or at least a whole lot of good feeling emotion underneath the surface that you are probably wanting to manifest or experience in physical form. Makes sense? What's behind you on the path? Loyalty. You've been a good little boy or girl, or however you identify. You've been loyal. You've been coloring inside the lines. You've perhaps been repressing yourself for others rather than being true to yourself, your own fires, because you go from the 3 of flames to the 5 of flames, from a past to a present. So whatever is completed here, it might be an internal completion where something just says, enough, enough. Putting myself first as well. The card of loyalty can be about putting yourself first in terms of your own needs. Now, the thing with fire, that tends to be more desire, putting your wants above others, and that can be tricky, right? That can lean into narcissism a little bit if it's really going to hurt and has no empathy towards other people. But Scorpios are kind of known for being empathic, and with this 10 of Cups underneath it all, I don't feel like this is a horrible thing. I just feel like you're negotiating some boundaries here in terms of your honor code, right? Your loyalty to yourself, to your path, and get that on the path of true love, it's all necessary, right? We have to embrace all aspects of self, even those that others might not like or agree with. What crowns you? Well, the Sagittarius, our first court card in this spread, Sagittarius, Ceridwen, or Ceridwen, depending on who your teacher is or was, the transformational goddess of fire of the cauldron, right? Her myth is inextricably linked to the cauldron of transformation, though there are other myths about her. That's the one she's probably most well known for. Just watch out where the splatter hits, if you know the myth. But this really says that either someone is coming into your life to stir that fire, right? Mutable fire, Sagittarius, the archer, the hunter. Something very fiery there, but something that's also very playful. This definitely has a bit more of a tingly part, sensitive, tender parts kind of vibe to it. This is feeling a little bit sexual, romantic, and even with that card of transformation, like I said, this the cauldron of transformation, you might be facing some changes within yourself, but it might be that someone's coming into your life that is going to be a real transformative element in terms of freeing you. I mean, it is the next sign in the zodiac, right? It goes Scorpio, Sagittarius. So it might be someone close to you, or someone, I mean, it's either someone close to you or someone you've never met before. Well, gee, that's just everybody on planet Earth. But my sense is there's something, I don't want to say impulsive or impetuous, because that's a little too on the nose for Sagittarian. This person does not have to be a Sagittarian, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or any of that. But definitely they've got that fiery, fun energy, maybe even a little flirty. And I think that's the feeling that I'm getting. It's not so heavy-duty serious, but Scorpios, y'all are known for being heavy-duty serious. This person might help you, I don't know, blow your cap off. The cap of the mountain, to let the lava flow. Okay, that's a little phallic even for me, but let's keep going, shall we? What's before you on the path? Nine of Blades, the card of criticism, which really does say an interior focus inward, right? Not so much, it can be criticism. You know, that's immediately what we interpret the word as being so critical. Are you so critical? Like a restaurant or a movie critic. Naggy. And the Nine of Blades, the Nine of Swords, we're so used to seeing in the Rider-Waite, right? Crying with the swords over your head and the Zodiac blanket. Go look, it's a Zodiac blanket. Figured that out when I was 12. So there is a lot of overthinking. There's a lot of overthinking, a lot of focus, perhaps a lot of recrimination, either for what was done or what was not done. But you got to remember, right, going back, that you're really doing this with the innocence of a child, or at least your child, your own literal physical child has to do with this, which takes it out of the romantic sexual realm entirely. But is this about your own sexual innocence and your ability to explore? Right? My readings are like literally everything on my channel is for 18 and over. there's no icky vibe on that, but it is the innocence of our child that wants to try and explore things. And if you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, and upward, it's okay to have fun with this, but it feels like that you've just ended something or at the end of a cycle where it kind of feels like enough is enough. It's my time now. You have this experience, this playful person, and then there's a whole lot of heavy-duty thinking. Perhaps some self-recrimination, but remember, everything is for me, not against me. That this is helping activate something within you, and it may come out like a volcano. But that can be cathartic as well. Primal scream, right? Primal scream therapy, right? Oh, just the emotional healing range of things. It can be very, very volcanic. Matt Kahn has a wonderful book. I love it. He's the one, the mantra cards, whatever arises, love that. Kind of cuts down on the explosions unless you really need to explode. Interesting cross. Let's look at the staff. Your lesson on the path. There we go. The Scorpio card of the Phoenix, the death card, had a feeling, called it out earlier. You are going through a major life transformation. Look, who isn't on planet Earth right now? Now, the guidelines of YouTube being monetized as a reader, I just can't say certain words without the video getting flagged, and then they have to watch it and say, oh, no, he didn't use it in that toxic way. But you know what I'm talking about, right? So you've probably either been confined to your own personal space, it's a nice way of saying it, or confined with others that are really kind of rubbing your nose in your lessons right now, bringing you to ashes so that you can transform. Now remember I said there's a difference between change and transformation, right? The weather changes. A mountain does not transform into a volcano. It was a volcano all along. It's a change of state, like water vapor to rain to the ocean, right? It's all essentially the same thing, just changing. Transformation, though, it's like you can't unburn a cookie. You can't go back from a transformation. So just know your whole life is changing right now along with everybody else's. And that's why this feels so, I don't want to say ironic, but a little bit of a clash, because inside of you there is this love and this ecstasy and this bliss that it's almost like you've suffered so much and sacrificed so much for so many that you're sort of at the end of that. It's like, my turn now. And I don't feel like it's in a narcissistic way, you know, not having empathy for other people, but it's something certainly you're going to think about and analyze before you act on it. But you cannot help that your lesson is about death and rebirth. You're a Scorpio. For God's sake, from the outside looking in, oh, you got the High Priestess. So it's a mystery to everybody else too. If you wanted to keep this secret, Scorpio, you're doing a good job. Nobody has any idea what's going on with you. Your poker face is actually well strapped on. The High Priestess, I love that card in its beauty, in its internal, intuitive, all of that inside of fries. But it is a card of mystery and secrets. So whatever is going on covert with you while you figure this out, you're pretty safe to go through it. And you can see that in a way as protecting your own inner innocence while you explore. In other words, not everybody needs to know everything about you. And most Scorpios don't post everything on social media. Leos, however, your destiny. This would be your fourth major arcana card in a row, and girl, it's a tower. Oh, Kali! Ah! The Awakener. Wait, where is she? There she is. There she is. You tell him, Kali. Ah, we're gonna burn it down, or we're gonna strike it by lightning. That's the Kali finger puppet. Yeah, this is Kali, the Awakener, the card of the tower, and that light is freaking blinding me. Oh, you're not gonna go off unless I use a pastel, are ya? Because then I get the white dot, and that's no fun. The white dot is no fun on this camera. Come on. Come on. Nope, you don't want to play. You don't want to play along. It's got to be pink, doesn't it? Yeah. Great, I've got a camera that likes certain colors on the color wheel. Lucky me. So yeah, we're looking at being struck by lightning here. This is a big deal. Your destiny, you're alchemizing your fate to destiny. unifying your fears and hopes, because what we most fear and we most hope for is about the path of true love, and enlightenment is coming, a destruction of something that was stable for a while but no longer is. We're looking at major change here, but you got to remember, it's happening for you. Everything is for me, not against me. The Course in Miracles would say nothing in this world is happening to you. It's happening for you. But for the real you, the soul, right? More connected to this than anything else. The unconditional love within you, the eternal traveler that goes from body to body to body to body to body. So the only thing that's really dying in you is the patterning. The only thing that's really transforming to ashes and rising again are the patternings, the conditionings, the ego. But it might be that you're getting struck. I can't get away from this feeling of Kundalini. This is probably connected to your creative sexual energy that you have been repressing for a very, very long time. It's almost like the feelings of happiness are only within you. I mean, it's not like there aren't pleasures in your life, but it's being struck by lightning, by truth. Illusions are being destroyed, at least within yourself, and maybe you are seeing things clearly that you didn't see before, right? A child emerging, growing, learning, gathering wisdom, and getting clarity on the path. Your outcome? 8 of Cups, walking within yourself. I have seen this card pop up a lot in this series for the path of true love. A lot of going within, not necessarily walking away from people. I know that's what the card looks like in other decks, but in this one, she's walking into something. She's walking into the cave, right? Following that trail of cups, some spilled, some full, but nonetheless, following step by step, moment by moment, taking the torch of illumination into the darkness. Very Scorpio, very shamanic descent, very embracing the shadow work. Go watch Debbie Ford's movie, The Shadow Effect. It's a Hay House product, if I remember correctly, and she's a genius, no longer with us, bless her soul. But a very, very helpful, that's where I got the metaphor of holding beach balls underwater. Go check that out. You can probably find it on YouTube, if not from Hay House directly. Really fascinating Celtic cross, though. We're going to pop the picture up at the end with all of them, but let's get our last card on the table. The Whispers of Love Oracle, the voices of the higher selves of all involved. Not just your higher self, the higher selves of all involved in this. Because as I'm looking, there's only one court card here, right? Well, here, let's do fire. How many fire cards you got? You've got 1, 2, 3. You've got the 3 of Flames, the Sagittarius card, and the 5 of Flames. There's fire. No earth cards. 1 air. Yeah, you got the 9 of Blades as your air. 2 water cards, the 8 and the 10 of Cups. And 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcana cards. So really your dominant thing here is spirit backed up by fire. Yeah, okay, so let's ask the higher souls of all involved. For the Whisper of Love, higher selves of all involved, 5th dimension and above, please. 1 card in clarity, a whisper of love, a piece of information, inspiration or insight, guidance and grace for the Scorpio collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs on the path of true love for August 2020. Or timeless, please, what say you? Higher selves of everyone involved in this. Practice compassion. See things from a different perspective. And I'm telling you, that starts with you. It starts with you. This child in you. Look, it depends on your age. And I don't mean, you're of a certain age, but I mean, it depends on when you were raised, right? I'm like I said, I'm going to be 52 years old in, less than a month. Oh, is today the 6th? Oh yeah, a month from today I will be 52 years old. September 6th. Fun to say when you have a gap in your teeth. Makes you sound like Cindy Brady. Who's Cindy Brady? Said the millennial. But, we picked up a lot of stuff back then that was just never true, right? You know, sex is dirty. No, it's fun. What do you know, penguin? I had fun, right? There's really a thing here about you being compassionate with yourself. And to me, the ultimate mantra for compassion is, it's okay. Talk to the child of your heart. It probably needs to cry. It probably hasn't rung its own bells emotionally, so to speak. And therefore, the need to go inside. Inner child work, I mean, I know the 90s kind of destroyed inner child work for a lot of people because the ego got a hold of it. It was like, well, my inner child doesn't want to talk to you. We weaponized the inner child as a tool of, or I should say, a channel of entitlement. I was wounded as a child, therefore I get to manipulate you however I want. Ding dong, you're wrong. It doesn't work that way. Only you can heal your inner child. Only you can give it the love that it needs and give it the boundaries that only you can give it. Hence the turn inward. But that doesn't mean you cannot pursue the things that excite you, the things that light you up, the things that call you forward. But practice compassion, see things from a different perspective, to see that everything is for me, not against me over time, right? Like a child is not going to get that. The childish ego is not going to get that until it matures. But the child of the soul, the inner child, holds the seeds to the higher self and the physical body, all of the pin codes to our happiness and success. But it's not going to yield that stuff up until it feels loved and safe on a consistent basis. Remember, safety is a huge part of the child archetype. And who feels safe in the world right now that's not completely delusional or heavily warded? Yeah. So let's pop up the picture and see what else presents itself. You ready? Nice deep breath. Magic clap. Because you do have the child archetype, the angel of children, right? The angel of innocence, the angel of new beginnings. Really, to call upon that angel to help you heal your innocence. There were things that were written upon you that you might have thought were carved in stone, where really it's just dry erase pen that can be released, but it needs to be understood from a point of view of compassion, seeing it differently, and integrating the ego with the mantra of everything is for me, not against me, is just going to be a perfect mind tool for that as you go. Because the card that represents you is Shakti, the life dancer. Now, you might want to look up Shakti because it's a goddess as well as an energy, as you know, it's in yoga, Shakti Pat, and you know, all these things. Do a little research. Shakti, not to mention Shakti Gawain, which was Creative Visualization, was the first metaphysical book that I really read back in the 80s. So there's a lot going on with Shakti for you here, but in this deck it is the card of the world, or the card of the universe, the last card of this major arcana cycle. So you are definitely at the end of some road. It is midnight and it's not quite 12:01 yet, right? But what crosses you is this volcanic energy. Now, is there anger and frustration here? Sure, because you've got that 10 of Cups underneath pushing this stuff up. So an inability to express what you're feeling. Or if I'm going to be really clear on it, the ability to act on what it is that you want, that's fueled by this deeper experience of bliss, right? The 10 of Cups, joy, wanting so much to expand, but being very constricted and conflicted in this process. And that's why behind you is the 3 of Flames, loyalty. But has your loyalty system been stagnant, dogmatic, by rote, W-R-O-T-E, or have you really been done with that? Has this looking at your own loyalty structure that you've put yourself a little bit higher in that priority list? I always refer, when this card comes up, to a book by Jan Van Zandt, changed my life. The book's called In the Meantime. And in the meantime, I learned that the priority schedule, if you like, my list of priorities that works for me is God first, then me, then friends and family, then work. That keeps me filled for the most part. That self-care is just so key right now. And remember, that 8 of Cups, your last card down, you're going to get there sooner or later. But through perhaps the reevaluation of what it is that you really want and what you are willing to wait for and what you're not willing to wait for, certainly shows up with the presence of this Sagittarian in your crowning position. And I do feel like this is somebody that you may know, but not well, who sort of sparks things in you, maybe a casual acquaintance. I mean, if you're single still in this time, that's tricky. If you are coupled with somebody, that's going to be extremely tricky. But you are at the end of a cycle. Not saying that if you are in a relationship, it's the end of the relationship, but at least your role is changing. well, really, let's call it what it is, transforming. You've got Cerwyddian, Ceridwen, depending on, again, who you learned it from. The cauldron of transformation, this person is a catalyst for that then pushes you into this deep introspection, the Nine of Blades, which is certainly matching that Eight of Cups in your outcome position in terms of turning your awareness inward. But your lesson here is about the Death card, the Phoenix, rising from the ashes or going to a transformation that you cannot go back from. Now, from the outside looking in, you've got the card of the Priestess, veiled and secret, so I really get the feeling nobody has any clue about this. So if you just come right out and blurt out what you're going to say, it's going to ruffle feathers, and that's why the loyalty thing, that Three of Flames, is so key here. Because it seems to me the only way for you to alchemize lead to gold here, fate into destiny, is to allow yourself to be struck by lightning, so to speak, Kali the Awakener. This so feels like a Kundalini awakening, which involves sexuality and creative energy, very second chakra, moving the energy up, out, and through the crown chakra. Look up Kundalini awakening, because it can be a very visceral, physical, sexual, energetic experience for anyone, but particularly a Scorpio, if you're doing the shadow work, the interior work, which is certainly indicated with this card, the Eight of Cups. Withdrawal, pulling into oneself, not necessarily ending things, although that's the place where you are in the cover card here, the card of Shakti, the life dancer, the card of the world or the universe. Your outcome with this is pulling into oneself, and I do feel like it is so that you can practice compassion, seeing things from a different perspective, no longer through the eyes of a child that's afraid of being a bad boy or a bad girl, but one saying that I did incarnate into this world to have the full range of emotional experience, and if I'm being curtailed because it makes other people uncomfortable, that's on them. I'm an adult now, and I can protect this child of my heart under grace and in perfect ways, giving it the love that only I can, practicing compassion by letting it know, no matter what anybody else says or anybody else does, I'm here, child of my heart, I love you, and no matter what you're feeling, it's okay. And it's even okay if it's not okay. That's how much I love you. That is a path of true love issue, if ever I saw one. Yeah, I mean, those three, the child card, the integrating the ego, and practice compassion are really kind of all you need to know in terms of navigating this. But you can see on the GPS, you're headed into yourself, and you're not alone. A lot of the other signs have had that card this time around. So may the Scorpio collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs be blessed with all that they need on the path of true love, August 2020 or timeless, that they may heal this child within them bit by bit as it grows and expands, integrating the ego with the mantra, everything is for me, not against me, and practicing compassion, seeing things differently for others, for yourself, but particularly for yourself, so that this delicious Ten of Cups can make its way through your personal transformation out into the world, making you a lot more happier, healthier, wealthier, and wiser for your well-being and for the well-being of all. May the Scorpios be so very blessed. So mote it be. And so it is. Thank you for watching, my Scorps. Again, please do like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and comment if this resonates with you. Otherwise, I'm going to wish you the very best and the very blessed of the path of true love for August 2020 or timeless, my darlings. Hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.